transportation, and financial ruin. That is how George Brott, one of the city's founders, described the steamboat era in St. Cloud. Although the river was the primary avenue of transportation in St. Cloud's earliest years, the obstacles were formidable. To get a boat on the water, it had to either be built north of St. Anthony Falls or lifted over them in high water. Then the ship's captain had to keep an eye out for low water, sandbars, and islands. During the long Minnesota winters, ice blocked the river. Heading north from here, Sauk Rapids was a natural barrier. A steamboat hardly seemed to be a good business investment. In 1849, however, Fort Ripley was established just north of Little Falls, and a shallow draft steamboat, the Governor Ramsey, made the trip up the river from St. Anthony Falls. In the wake of the voyage, the Minnesota Pioneer newspaper declared, "The proprietors of the Governor Ramsey have done an incalculable service to Minnesota by opening to immigrants a region of the country wholly fresh and unsettled, which all who have seen it say is lovely beyond the power of description, for 70 or 80 miles up the river beyond St. Anthony." Over the next decade, the Governor Ramsey continued to make regular trips between St. Cloud and Minneapolis, joined later by the H.M. Rice and the Minneapolis. Father Bruno Reese, heading north in 1856, described his excursion on the Rice. The boat left St. Anthony on May 19th, and by evening arrived at the point where the Crow River enters the Mississippi. Here a stop was made until the next morning. The craft was merely a boat for transportation of freight, had no conveniences whatsoever for passengers, furnished no meals, not a chair to sit upon. Still, 50 passengers entered at this place. For 2 days and 1 night we sought comfort among the trunks and other freight, and were exposed to ferocious attacks of mosquitoes, and had nothing to eat. On the afternoon of the 20th, the boat was moored about 2 miles below St. Cloud. About half of the freight was unloaded. One of the lay brothers was on shore attending to the baggage, and the other lay brother remained on board, keeping guard over our cask of Mass wine, for the little cask was an attraction to the deckhands. As early as 1868, the demise of river traffic was pronounced, when a local newspaper stated, "The steamer Enterprise is to be moved below St. Anthony Falls and will be navigating on the lower Mississippi. The building of the railroad to St. Cloud has killed steamboating above the falls." The last steamboat to reach St. Cloud was the Minneapolis in 1874. Some shipping continued on the river in the next 3 decades, but it was so minimal that when the Coon Rapids Dam was built in 1913, it had no lock system for navigation. River transportation between St. Cloud and Minneapolis came to a halt.